During the first year of participating in a class at a US university, have you ever made a joke because of the title?
It's because of the American one, diverse cultures,
When you first came to the United States, the way your language improves,
improvement in language proficiency. It's more in the classroom.
what do you think was the reason prompted you to join the Chinese Student Union? Hello, Stella. Glad you took time out at the end of this term. Accept our interview. Can you briefly introduce yourself to us?
This is my third year in Minnesota, then now read Applied Economics at CF. I am also the Vice President of the Chinese Student Union.
I think the exchange of languages between the East and the West, there's a big difference, such as the way of addressing or expression or body movements. When you are in your first year, when participating in a classroom at an American university, have you ever made a joke about the title?
There is indeed this in freshman year. When I first came to school, Discover teacher, there are also some other seniors and sisters who will ask, in addition to your major and name, I will ask you about your pronouns again. At that time, I really don't know what this pronouns mean because I was in China before, never encountered. People ask me questions like this after I arrived. Discover is because of one in the United States, a diverse culture. And then we have men and women and a lot of non-big. Yeah, so it's out of respect for them. So it's something to involve. I still had a little joke in my freshman year.
So speaking of class, like I was a freshman, this is my first year. In fact, I can only understand the classroom, 60% of what the teacher said. But sometimes the teacher uses some visual tools, like a picture, like a table. It allows me to understand these things more intuitively. Language is a very important question. Language proficiency and social knowledge, helping new students integrate into the new culture faster. You can share it. When you first came to America, do you feel that improving your language is it the most helpful way?
For me, improvement of language proficiency, more often in the classroom. Then the teacher asked everyone during the group discussion, communicate more with locals. Definitely one I think is the most effective, a way to improve your English.
I read one research from Miami academics, and he was talking about the Chinese classroom. Students show more respect for their teachers, so I don't express my opinion lightly. That's on top of Western classroom. Teachers will encourage students to have open discussions and expressing different opinions. How do you feel about this?
Because I used to be in junior high school in China. I went to a traditional Eastern school. Students are afraid to raise their hands to speak, go to free discussion, more to accept some knowledge and information conveyed by the teacher. And just after coming to college, after studying in the United States, there's going to be a lot more classes than there are in China. Ask questions according to the teacher below, time for a free discussion, and then the exchange and collision of ideas among students, then give feedback to the teacher after the end. Let's make a deeper summary together. Well, there's communication. I think this is a big difference with China.
My high school was actually in England because you just mentioned your high school. He goes to a traditional Chinese school. I think it's like a British high school. British schools versus American schools. He's actually kind of similar. Will they emphasize autonomy and independence more? For example, there's very little time in the classroom, but you need to plan your time after class to finish the homework. How about schools in China? Teachers will supervise students more to complete homework. There are many self-study sessions where teachers are watching the students. So how are you adapting to this paradigm shift?
Because of my junior high school, it's a Chinese school in that traditional sense. In learning, it's more about study habits. There are a few more. It is a learning process of the basic skills of the subject this time period. So I think it's the Chinese way to ask students. It's good for the students. Students are very young, then they will definitely lose some self-control. Some basic skills still require teacher supervision. And I went to an international school when I was in high school. This time already with the United States, a Western way of learning. It's about the same. So I think it helped me to make a smoother transition in college life.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you combine Chinese teaching, one advantage of teaching in the United States. In fact, they are better together. That's like sometimes the teacher's supervision is also very important. Like many teachers, they teach them culturally responsive, like adjusting classroom activities, or provide knowledge of multiple languages to help international students adjust to their new life, especially for freshmen in their first year Chinese freshmen. Do you think this is helpful for freshmen?
We are at the Chinese Student Union every year during the summer before freshmen start school. It will be in several big cities in China. Launch some new student meeting activities. Then we will be in these activities. Give everyone a popular science in advance. What will life be like after coming to America? Things to consider when living in the United States. There are also places that are different from China. Advance hope. Let's transition this cultural nuance.
As you just mentioned, you are from the Chinese Student Union. What do you think was the reason prompted you to join the Chinese Student Union?
Because when I was a freshman, in fact, it was quite difficult when I first came here. From a familiar place, come to a place with no family at all, a rather unfamiliar environment without relatives. So when I found out about this Chinese Student Union after this organization, I feel like I found a group of people, friends like family, is to participate in the student union expanded my moments. It also made me feel more and more at home in this organization. So I wanted to join this organization to continue to assist new students coming to the United States to study.